Hello, entrepreneurs and founders. Today, I want to ask you a question. Are you wondering how to get funding fast and efficient with trademarks? And if you're not, listen in, because today I'm going to share with you some of the legal strategies and steps that you can take and that you can implement today in your business to create some investment opportunities in your business. Now, let me start from the top. A trademark is an intellectual property right, an asset. And if you are a technology company looking for funding, then today's live show is for you. Your first question might be, what can I protect through a trademark? It being that I am a technology company. What constitutes a trademark? For instance, if you are developing a platform as a service or a software as a service, the name, the brand, the logo of that platform or software or app can be protected by trademark, and you should seek that legal protection as soon as possible. And I'm going to explain why. So today we are going to look at what you can protect through a trademark, how you can protect the trademark, what are the steps to registration, but also what you need in order to be able to get a registration of your trademark. But most importantly, I'm also going to share details with you regarding how much registering a trademark might cost you locally, at European level, or even internationally. I'm going to share with you some free resources that you can use today to protect your trademark and where to start. But most importantly, what I want to share with you is what will investors be looking at when it comes to your trademarks, to the trademarks that you have in your business. So let's go. And for those of you who don't know me yet, I am Avocat Olivia Marcu-Iordanescu, and I partner with technology companies and their founders to streamline their legal processes so they get funding fast and efficient. Good. So, a trademark can consist of any sign, in particular words, including personal names, but also designs and letters and numerals and acronyms, colors, the shape of a good or of the packaging of a good or sounds. It can also be multimedia, so combining sound and visual and motion. Now, the question is, and your first question should be, how can I protect it? The short answer is through registration, and I do want to keep it sweet and short for you today. The sooner you register, the better, because in trademark law, the rule of thumb is first come, first served. Whoever registers first the trademark gets the legal protection of trademark law. So registration is important when you are a technology company for at least 4 reasons. One, it becomes an asset on your balance sheet. Until then, there are just expenses you've incurred, okay? But once you register it and once you start capitalizing your investment in your asset, your trademark's value increases. 2, registration individualizes it. And what I mean by that is that you can distinguish it from other assets, not only in your balance sheet, so internally, so to say, within your company, but also in relation to third parties. It's like putting a fence on your land and saying, this is my piece of land. When you register a trademark, what effectively happens is that you create an economic monopoly in that specific market for that specific type of good or services in your case, that distinguishes you from your competitors. And why this distinction is important is in the mind of your customers, of your clients. So effectively, what I'm trying to say is that you actually, by registering your trademark, start building that reputation and become a recognized brand that is reliable and that guarantees a certain quality of service to your customers or clients. Third, you can get funding. So, as explained before, as a technology company, you might not have many assets. You can scroll through my profile and you will find several shares on this topic. Your intellectual property rights are intangibles. And in this case, particularly, your registered trademark becomes your most valuable asset along with the underlying technology you are developing, of course. But this is one of the reasons it's super important that you register the trademark. And fourth, once you've registered it, you can monetize it. You can sell it. We call this a transfer or assignment. You can license it. There are various ways in which you can do this, but you do need to have it registered, including getting an investment. That is a way of monetization of your trademark, right? So what do you need in order to register a trademark? Well, to be eligible for registration, your trademark must be distinctive. It doesn't have to be original. I want to break that myth, okay? Don't be too hard on yourself or your creative team, but it does have to be distinctive. What does that mean? Well, it cannot describe what you are selling. So if your software or the platform that you are developing is for restaurants, let's say, your software cannot be called, the name of your software brand cannot be restaurant or food, or it's too descriptive, right? Try thinking in terms of like something that has nothing to do with what you're actually doing as an underlying service, what you're actually offering, like Apple for computers. Your trademark should be distinctive in the sense that your clients, your customers should be able to recognize your sign, your logo, for what it is. For example, as an indication of origin. It should distinguish you from other companies in the marketplace, but also your service that you are going to provide, so that you can protect and build your brand identity and value. Like I said, your trademark should not describe what you sell. So should not monopolize a sign or a group of words that merely describe the goods or services that you are offering. Such signs should remain available for everybody. So if you are producing shoes, you will not be able to register shoe as a trademark. Now, a little bit of information that I promised to you in the beginning regarding how much does it cost to register a trademark. It's very simple to get this information, but before I share that with you, there is something I want you to keep in mind. When registering your trademark, what's really important is that you are clear of the territory in which you are going to sell your services, your software, your app, where you are going to offer it. Even if in the beginning it's a beta version, so for free, let's say, it's a trial period. And again, I do advise you, I cannot stress more like how important this is, that you register your trademark before you launch the app, the software, the platform. The sooner you do this, the better, okay? So one thing to keep in mind that is also very important is the territory. So before registering, you need to consider what are some countries, some territories in which I am planning to offer my software, my app, my platform, not just today, but in like 5 and 10 years, because protection through trademark registration can last up to 10 years, and then you can renew it for another 10-year period. So you really need to think long term. If you are starting on a local market, you can also use this strategy to register a national trademark. And then from there, as your plans for expansion become more and more clear and unravel, so to say, you can apply for a European trademark or an international trademark with the WIPO. Now, in terms of costs, it really depends on the territory. This is why I mentioned it's important that you are clear on the market, geographically speaking, in which you are planning to offer your services. And there can be instances such as Germany, where you apply for a national trademark, and that can range from 300 euros, in which 3 classes are included, all the way to a European Union trademark, which covers all the member states of the European Union, present and future, which starts at 150 euros with 1 class included. And this is just to give you some indication. Of course, it's going to depend on your particular case, on your specific business plan, growth plan, expansion plan, and so on. But just to give you an idea, like, what is the starting point? Now, if someone else has already registered your mark, and this is an important topic for you to consider, you will not be able to get a registration. You can, and what does that mean? It means, like I said in the beginning, that trademark protection through registration works on a first come, first served basis. So if someone else has registered your trademark already, you will not be granted a registered trademark. What can you do about that? Well, you can save time and money by searching for marks that could potentially conflict with yours before you apply. And this is extremely valuable. It's going to give you a lot of feedback about the market, what's available out there, and it's going to help you brief your marketing agency, your branding agency, as they create the logo for you. And it's very simple to do that. There are several resources online that you can use. And actually, I want to pause here a little bit and try to share that with you, like where you can find some public databases where you can search for a prior registered trademark or rights that might conflict with the trademark that you want to register. Now, how you can do that, I'm going to open a new browser here and try to share this with you. So the databases are usually, as I open the file and share it with you, the browser, the databases are usually, you can find them on the websites of the official intellectual property offices. So either it's a national intellectual property office in your country or in the first country where you are applying, trying to go to market, or if you are making a regional application or an international application, you will find these databases on the websites of those intellectual property offices. So concretely, like for instance, the EU IPO has such databases available, and the WIPO also provides this possibility. Okay. Okay, so let me see how this works. I hope that you are seeing this just right. We are here, for instance, on the European Union Intellectual Property Office. How to get here is to write euipo.europa.eu. okay? And it will take you to the homepage of the European Intellectual Property Office. And on this web page, you will be able to find under trademarks right here, a lot of sections. So from describing the trademark basics to giving you examples of what you could register, and the way to do a trademark search is to go under search availability, this section right here. And when you go here, it will give you several options. It will give you the option to search in the databases of the EU level, but also at international level. And so you have the eSearch Plus, the EU Intellectual Property Office database access, and you have the trademark view, which contains information from all the EU national IP offices, the European Intellectual Property Office, and a number of international partner offices outside of the EU on trademark applications and registered marks. So this was just to give you an example. I don't know if this worked. Hopefully it did. And if you still have questions about how to do your own due diligence in respect to trademark registration, just let me know in the comments and I'll DM you the links, and I can also post them afterwards after the live for you to go online and search and make sure that no one else has registered your trademark before you. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that your application for a trademark must contain a representation of the trademark you want to register and a list of goods and services that need to be covered by your trademark. So you're going to need to describe that very specifically. Is it software as a service? Is it platform as a service? And also in this regard, make sure to be clear on what are your short and long-term plans in respect to your offering. Also, one thing to keep in mind is that as a matter of principle, applicants do not need to be represented before the intellectual property offices. However, if you are not established or have a domicile in the European Economic Area or in the member state where you are seeking registration, so for instance, if you are seeking to register a trademark in the Federal Republic of Germany, but you are not established there, then you are going to need to appoint a trademark lawyer representative. Good. Now, the best, most juicy part of the entire session today, and what I really want for you to take away, and why I particularly saved the best for last, as they say, is what you need to know and what will investors look at if you want to get funding. I'm back. I had a little bit of a breakdown with the internet, but I'm back. Good. So I was saying we are getting to the last best part of today's show, and that is what will investors look at if you want to get funding, or for instance, you want to enter into a transfer deal. The first thing is they're going to want to know that you have a valid registered intellectual property right, the trademark, right? If you have more than one trademarks, make sure to keep a record of them, like an inventory. You can simply keep this in an Excel spreadsheet. I can share with you a template of such a spreadsheet, like what would need to be reported, what kind of information needs to be included in there. That comes very helpful even later at a stage where you need to go into due diligence. And as we already discussed about this, there will be a legal due diligence phase, and not only. Second, they will want to see a history of the trademark. And what I mean by that is everything that has happened from the registration of the trademark to any transfers, subsequent transfers of the trademark, and up to current date. So any legal operations that may have actions that may have occurred in respect to the trademark. They will be particularly interested in this respect in the price at which the trademark was transferred and whether there was a valuation. What method of valuation you used for the transfer price, were these transfers between related parties, and so on and so forth. Also, third, they will be interested in whether or not you have entered into any agreements in respect to the exploitation of the trademark. So basically, how are you using the trademark? Do you have intra-group agreements? Are there licenses in place or joint ventures in respect to the trademark? Especially if you have several companies or there are related parties or affiliates. All of this needs to be documented, right? And they will want to know who is using the trademarks and under what terms. And finally, they will want to know if there are any disputes, actual or threatened, potential, but also any infringement claims in respect to intellectual property rights, particularly your trademarks in this case. Now, that's it for today. Really, really happy that you joined in for this live session. I think it's extremely valuable. I hope it was extremely valuable for you. Let me know if you have any comments. And to register your trademark today, book a free legal strategy session with me. And also, if there are any other legal questions that you have in relation to trademark exploitation and monetization and how to get funding, you can book a free legal strategy session with me. Thank you.